You got hand for it. That bird. You got a hand for a treat here, guy. You get better with the Airport Space Museum in Refuge, you know. So. Hi. Get back to the parking area there. Thank you.
Like that, Eric?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a swing shot.
Uh-huh.
That was a swing shot. Hard. Okay. Oh, hole?
Because it's open.
Yeah.
We're driving 50 miles an hour. It's full.
Yeah.
I'm buttoning up.
Yeah, fucking beer. We're at the visitor center right now. Or that way where the space is at. Or a different planet on planet Earth here.
They have space ice cream.
Space ice cream. I wonder if they have alien language.
Alien language, okay.
Yeah.
Want to try self-serve?
Self-serve?
Credit card had trouble at the gate.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, maybe that would. I don't know if this would work.
Yeah.
It's got a code on it.
Hey, hold.
Want to check it out and see?
Yeah, I got it. There's a Kennedy Space Center here too. Oh. Well, there is a church. Got a little water downstairs. The Space Center is shining here. Anyway. Had a whole day of Florida. Well, explore. We'll call the third.
Okay, let's look at the schedule. Let's see.
I see what we go for there.
But the Indians come to Florida.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, yeah.
Give her through, okay? Here's something about the birds.
Birds, huh? All the birds are there.
Bigger birds.
All of them. Oh, how funny. Oh, well, historic stuff over there, too. Of Florida. Take a look here. Business Road. That's nice. Yeah, Florida is famous for one of the oranges, grapefruit, and all other citrus fruit out there. Old chicken stuff over here too. Old plane cars right there. That's another old plane car right here too. We'll take a little bit more video here in a little bit. Tiny space can right there too. Tiny space can right there too. That's what we're at. I have a little area right there too.
You ready to start?
Fire management. Little pump with a few. And they look real, but there's probably stuff there. Alligators with a few. A nice little exhibit with a few. All sorts of nice wildlife right there. But hey, we got 4 pictures. There's a thing is Ballino. Give it right here. Next picture. Pelican is here too. Oh yeah, I just had to walk a little bit slow. This is nice. Sea turtle. Oh, you know, that's the ocean and stuff. That's neat.
Usually there's a lot more water around here. I mean, you see alligators on the water, but it's pretty dry.
On a wild boar. Right there. I'm going to take 2 pictures here. A bird here. Pretty good. Yeah, here's Ross here, but
see challenging education opportunities by going to a military academy. That's when I dedicated myself to making sure that what I was doing really began to count. And around the 8th and 9th grade, my grades took a big change from averages and C's to A's and B's.
Look at that old hanging space area right here too. Store it right here.
Like final time they had some change on the sample track.
Must be so quick over yeah, man, move past one.
I think the qualities that make up a high level natural.
Oh, maybe this is there too.
People always ask me, when you were going to find this.
Yeah.
That's the patch of my squadron, the Stingers, that I was in just before I got selected for the space program. Those were truly one of my first steps with big. And I'm proud to have been an naval aviator.
Oh, take a picture here. Okay, this is the first spacesuit right here. Yeah, I can see a video of it.
Test pilots in various ways. So, we're kind of in a similar mode.
Yo tengo el
This is Gemini 9A hanging up. Like a cigarette. Sorry, I'm putting it down here, but this is what it looks like right here. Yeah. Huh? Oh, I was right here. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I show you guys, sorry for that.
Okay. I'll be walking from me.
Yeah. The Hall of Fame is here. There's one of the famous astronauts is here. They God bless him. And I'm gonna have light in the way, but they might have one of Neil Armstrong, I don't know. You hear me? Oh, I see him. Neil Armstrong. Buzz Aldrin, 1993. Yeah. Pretty cool, more beautiful astronauts there too. pretty nice, neat. After that, it's stuff like that right here too. Actually, this is a good place. All the Hall of Fame is there. Pretty cool. Other woman with me. That was yeah, that's all it is right here.
Mercury Atlas rocket. The Mercury Atlas was a less powerful rocket than the rest.
Right, yeah, bus for here too.
And John Glenn follows him in the year of 62 of month of February. Right atop
Rocket
of that
Garden
rocket,
Cafe.
went into orbit Earth 3 times. Now, we wanted to find out whether we could survive microgravity, whether we could eat in microgravity. So we gave John Glenn a very important
Have bus for here too.
Now, I want you folks to tell me
University there. Huh, cool.
There?
Huh?
Want to go in there?
I thought we were planning you a bus tour. I thought we were planning you a bus tour.
Yeah, which one you want to do first?
I'll do a bus tour first.
Okay. Flags?
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, straight ahead.
Yeah.
We'll take pictures there, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, put them in here.
Yeah. That's another day, very, very greatly. Okay. That's another day, very greatly. I don't know what time, 30 minutes. Okay, sounds good. Big stop, low market. Huh. Thought I would get a souvenir like that.
Bus tour this way, bus tour. You don't need to buy ticket. Admission include, yes, yes.
I'm with you. Right behind you.
Yeah.
Right beside you.
All right, almost there. Birds are loud.
Huh?
Birds are loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go there.
All sorts of Apollo rocket right there too. We're going to take a look at hills and legends here too. So we'll.
We came in peace for all mankind. We were in the Cold War. We were pointing nuclear weapons at a country that was pointing nuclear weapons at us. We were in the space race. But this United States, a country made up of...
We have a memory of every athlete that was still partying at counter over there.
Let's celebrate this together as a human event, not just a national victory. That was the message of that class. And amazingly enough, it started to change things around the world.
What's up when we get to meet people here? I do, Japanese. That's beautiful. I like to take a picture of some rockets and stuff way on.
Yeah.
I like going into the rocket too.
Let's see what we can do together.
Oh, my hair is getting curly.
Coming out of that, one result is the one just beyond the
I better take a picture of
At
it.
the end of the next building, we have a mural that represents the International Space Station. In front of it, the flag that was 15 countries that worked together to design and build and operate that laboratory.
That must be Apollo.
For the future big days.
This summer, that would be fun for kids.
Yeah.
Remember this one thing. We went from aggressive competition to cooperation.
Okay, got your. Uh-oh.
What?
Is that a video or
What?
is this a museum or a movie?
Something to go in. Oh, 3D glasses, yeah.
I hate 3D stuff.
Well, don't put them on then.
Okay. How about we get 3D glasses?
They make you feel funny?
There's also a bunch of Alan Shepard spacesuiters out there, the one he wore while he played golf on the moon. The Kitty Hawk capsule, that's Apollo 14. That actually went to the moon and back. Bunch of moon rocks, one of them you can touch. The Apollo 1 Memorial, very emotional. There's 2 theaters, a food court, and guess what else is out there? A gift shop, guys.
That's where we'll go.
A gift shop, that's right, you're in Florida.
We'll go there.
That's right.
Yeah.
And just like Disney World, you must exit through that gift shop when you're ready to head back. Time on this bus will be about 40 minutes. You can stay at Saturn V as long as you like. And the bus ride back is only about a 10-minute ride. Please remain seated while the bus is in motion. The astronaut today is Fred Gregory. You can see him from 4 to 4:45 on the second floor of the gift shop. He'll sign autographs, answer questions. And like all the astronauts, guys, they love to tell stories. Why is it so interesting to listen to an astronaut tell a story? Why is that? Because they're always out of this world, aren't they, huh? Yeah, well see, now you're starting to figure out why I drive the bus. All right? Yeah. Got my CDL on the way to work at Kmart today. So we should be all right. Yeah. The only problem is there isn't a Kmart around here anymore. Yeah. We have a launch coming up on the 9th. Heck, supposedly on the 9th. It's got moved about 3 or 4 times already. I think this time like at 11:10 p.m. Like 11:10 p.m. in there somewhere. At Atlas 5 off of launch pad 41. We're going to see 3 active launch pads on the Air Force side, as well as drive around 39A and 39B here on the Kennedy Space Center side. Okay? So, start some videos with the tour. I'm going to get my seat, and we'll get the first one of those going, and we'll be on our way.
We have pondered our place amongst the stars since the dawn of humankind. We've looked at the stars with wonder and amazement, their glow guiding our travel for centuries. The more we learn about our universe, the more questions we have. Today, we'll explore where NASA and its partners are taking us in the future. But before we begin this journey, just like every NASA mission, our #1 goal is to return home safely. So always stay seated while the bus is in motion. Please, no food or drinks on the bus with the exception of water. Please keep conversation to a minimum so others may hear and enjoy the tour. And no photography will be made at the security gate, but there will be plenty of photo opportunities during the tour.
Kennedy Space Center covers 140,000 acres. We use only 8% of that to launch rockets, so the rest of it is the Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge, home to 540 species of animals. So guys, keep your eyes moving. You never know, you could see a bald eagle, wild hog, bobcat, coyote, or maybe one of our 5,000 unpaid security guards. Those are the alligators, guys, so keep your eyes moving. Out the right front corner, a real Redstone rocket with a Mercury capsule on top. Believe it or not, that's what Alan Shepard went up in on May 5th of 1961 to become the first American in space. The Redstone was actually an interballistic missile. They took the warhead off, put that little capsule on top with no window, then they just wished Alan Shepard good luck.
Hi, I'm Emily Calandrelli, and I'm excited to go behind the gates at Kennedy Space Center and experience the incredible achievements of NASA. I'm standing next to a real Mercury Redstone rocket, the same rocket that began NASA's journey of human space exploration. Our trip today will begin at the same Mercury Redstone and take us from the Apollo and Space Shuttle programs into current-day activities.
Dedicated, motivated workforce anywhere in the world who believe in the unlimited potential of space exploration. This is an active spaceport, and things are happening every day. You never know what you might see, so enjoy your tour.
50 years ago, we pioneered a path to the moon with the Apollo program. Today, our calling to explore is even greater. Artemis, the twin sister of Apollo and goddess of the moon in the hunt, encompasses all of our present efforts to return humans to the moon and to prepare us and propel us onto Mars. Through the Artemis program, we will see the first woman and the next man walk on the surface of the moon. And Kennedy Space Center is involved in nearly every aspect. Here's how.
This all starts with the ability to get larger, heavier payloads off-planet and beyond Earth's gravity.
For this, we designed an entirely new rocket.
Space Launch System. SLS will be the most powerful rocket ever developed.
And with components in production,
And more in testing?
this system is capable of being the catalyst for deep space missions. We need a capsule that can support humans from launch
Through deep space and return safely back to Earth.
For this, we built Orion.
This is NASA's next generation human space capsule.
Using our commercial partners to deliver science instruments and robotics to the surface, we are paving the way for human missions in 2024.
We want lunar landers that are reusable, that can land anywhere on the lunar surface. The simplest way to do so is to give them a platform in orbit around the moon from which to transition.
An orbiting platform to host deep space experiments and be a waypoint for human capsules. We call this lunar outpost Gateway.
The beauty of the Gateway is that it can be moved between orbits
It will balance between the Earth and Moon's gravity.
in a position that is ideal for launching even deeper space missions.
We go now to the moon, not as a destination, but as a proving ground for the technology, science, and human exploration efforts that will be critical for missions to Mars. This is a partnership, not just government launches, but commercial launches and international partners. We are going together. From the moon, humanity will take the next giant leap to Mars.
Oh, volcano.
Yeah, the nest.
You are now approaching the Vehicle Assembly Building, or as NASA calls it, the VAB. It is one of the largest buildings in the world by volume, and is the place where NASA completes the final assembly of its rockets before launch. The sheer scale of this building is hard to grasp, even when you're right next to it.
Do you ever feel really small when you think about space? What about when you're standing next to a skyscraper or a really big bridge? Well, I feel about as small as an ant right now. I'm standing inside the Vehicle Assembly Building trying to grasp how large it really is in here. It has 4 bays. Each bay has 2 large horizontal doors below it and 7 smaller vertically opening doors above it, tall enough to fit the world's largest rocket crew. In fact, these are the largest doors in the world.
It was built in the 1960s for the Apollo program. Every Saturn V rocket that sent humans to the moon was assembled right here. Every space shuttle mission also assembled within these same walls. After the space shuttle program, a major renovation to the inside of this building began to accommodate NASA's next generation of rockets, the Space Launch System, or SLS. Lockheed Martin has developed a capsule called Orion that will sit atop the SLS rocket. This capsule is designed to facilitate human exploration of the moon and eventually Mars. The first flown Orion capsule from Exploration Flight Test 1, EFT-1, sits inside the NASA Now exhibit at the Visitor Complex. This uncrewed test flight launched atop the Delta IV Heavy rocket in 2014. The 4.5-hour flight took the spacecraft around the Earth 2 times before splashing down in the Pacific Ocean, where it was recovered and eventually brought back to KSC. Just outside the VAB, you'll see a full-scale replica of the Launch Abort System, or LAS. Developed by Lockheed Martin, this rocket-powered tower, designed to sit atop the Orion crew module, is built to quickly propel astronauts away from the rocket in case of an emergency. The actual LAS underwent a critical flight test in July 2019 called Ascent Abort 2. It launched atop a U.S. Air Force booster carrying a boilerplate, or non-functional, version of Orion, and successfully performed the abort maneuver, proving that the LAS will be ready for its first crewed launch, Artemis 1. You'll be able to take a closer look at the LAS replica as we approach from the east side of the building. The construction of the VAB required 65,000 cubic yards of concrete, 45,000 steel beams, 1 million steel bolts, amounting to almost 100,000 tons of steel. Notice the flag painted on the outside of the VAB? It's the size of a 21-story building. The blue section alone is the size of an NBA basketball court. Each star is 6 feet across, and each red and white stripe is wide enough for this bus to drive down. And the entire VAB? It's so huge that the Roman Colosseum would fit on the roof with room to spare for a parking lot. By volume, the VAB can fit 3.5 Empire State Building, and it would take 250 billion ping pong balls to fill it.
It's tall, definitely.
NASA is known for dreaming big, and big dreams require big equipment. I'm standing next to the Crawler Transporter, the largest self-powered land vehicle in the world. It was originally built in 1965 for the Apollo program, and has since been updated to accommodate the space shuttle and now NASA's SLS rocket. Weighing in at 6 million pounds and capable of lifting and hauling 18 million pounds, the Crawler is an engineering marvel, even without a rocket sitting on top of it. This thing has 2,750 horsepower V16 diesel engines that can carry the Crawler up to a top speed of, wait for it, 1 mile per hour. Wow.
And it gets a whopping 32 feet per gallon of fuel too, guys. In front now, one of 3 mobile launch platforms that were built for the Apollo program and converted for the shuttle. This one's currently being leased by Northrop Grumman for their Omega rocket. First time in history someone besides NASA will be stacking rockets in the VAB. What'll happen is that Crawler we just saw will come up underneath the platform, pick it up off of those 6 pedestals and take it into High Bay 2. They'll assemble the Omega on top. Once complete, the Crawler goes back in the VAB, pick up the whole rocket assembly and take it out to 39B via the crawlway. That's the way we did all the Apollo Saturn V launches and every one of the 135 shuttles. 39A is 3.5 miles away, 39B is 4.2. We have that large radius around those pads as a safe blast zone. NASA's engineers calculated that if the Saturn V shuttle blew up on the pad, it would destroy everything within a 3-mile radius. Now this platform here is left over from the shuttle program. Look up underneath, you can see those 3 large openings. That's where the flames from the rocket engines come through those openings down into the flame trench, which is built right into that elevated launch pad.
That. The latest refurbishment is complete and preparation is well underway for the first SLS mission. The Crawler will be doing what it was originally designed to do once again, which is moving rockets. We're inside the VAB at level 26, 274 feet up, and I can see behind us, right over to the right, the newly added crew access arm attached to this mobile launcher. I want everyone here to meet Cliff Lanham, the mobile launcher project manager. Cliff, can you explain the significance of adding that access arm?
Sure. The crew access arm is one of the last major modifications to the mobile launcher in preparation for SLS and Orion. It basically will be the very last place on Earth that the crew will be before they're in the spacecraft and headed to space. Now, the white room provides a contamination-free environment out next to the spacecraft, and as you suspect, it's white. It's the white room.
All right, guys, look in between the 2 gray bay doors here on the VAB at ground level. Those are 6x10 people doors right there.
So there's a platform next to this 380-foot tower that the rocket is actually built next to, and then the umbilical arms attached to it to provide that fuel and power.
Wow. And so does the mobile launcher actually go all the way to the launch pad with the rocket?
It does, and the Crawler transporter comes in, picks up the mobile launcher with the rocket, transports that entire thing out to the pad in preparation for the launch.
Wow. Oh, that is very impressive.
It is, and I hope everyone here today has a great time at Kennedy Space Center. Enjoy all the great exhibits, and come back soon.
Today, this part of the coastline, proudly known as the Space Coast, is the epicenter of the aerospace industry. employing over 100,000 people in Florida. What was once a rural farming community just 60 years ago is now a multi-user spaceport shared by the United States government and private industry. You'll get to see that private industry at work throughout the tour.
So why did NASA choose this section of the Florida coastline to base its launch facility? It's not just because astronauts like the beach. The warmer weather provides opportunities for launches to occur year-round. Most importantly, the safest place to launch a rocket is over the ocean, away from populated areas. There is actually a scientific purpose for launching from here. Because we get a speed boost from the Earth's rotation. Imagine yourself riding a carousel. The further you are from the center, the faster you travel around the circle. Florida is closer to the Earth's equator, so launching from Florida is like riding closer to the outer edge of the carousel. We harness the extra speed from the Earth spinning on its axis to help slingshot rockets into space. When NASA was created, the land previously occupied by the United States Army, Navy, and Air Force became the Launch Operations Center, or LOC, and was put under NASA's supervision. In 1963, President Lyndon B. Johnson called for the renaming of the LOC to honor the late President John F. Kennedy, who had challenged the nation to landing a man on the moon. To this day, it is still referred to as the John F. Kennedy Space Center, or KSC.
Oh, one pair over there.
Here we are at the home of the most historic launch pads in the world. Just behind me are launch pads 39A and 39B. These two pads launched every single space shuttle mission to assemble and service the International Space Station, to launch the Hubble Space Telescope, to deploy satellites, and to conduct scientific experiments. We're looking out at launch pad 39A, where every man who walked on the moon began their journey. 82 space shuttle missions also launched from right here. Since the space shuttle program ended in 2011, this launch pad has been transformed to accommodate a private space organization. Can you guess?
SpaceX, the venture started by tech entrepreneur Elon Musk in 2002, signed a 20-year lease for the use of Pad 39A. You may have watched their Falcon Heavy test flight, the one that sent a Tesla Roadster into space. This is where it launched. The Falcon Heavy rocket is currently the most powerful operational rocket in the world by a factor of 2. SpaceX made history in 2012 when it delivered their Dragon spacecraft into orbit to rendezvous with the International Space Station, making SpaceX the first commercial company ever to visit the space station.
You can see that same Dragon capsule back at the visitor complex in the NASA Now exhibit. Since then, SpaceX has made numerous deliveries to the ISS, and some of their Dragon capsules have been used more than once. But the Dragon capsule isn't the only hardware they reuse. Yes, I'm talking about reusable rockets. SpaceX expertly lands many of their rocket boosters after launch. Sometimes they land back here at Cape Canaveral, while others may land on an autonomous drone ship floating in the ocean. The ability to recover and reuse rocket boosters is one of the most exciting developments in the aerospace industry in recent years. This advance in rocket technology is helping to bring down the cost of launching payloads into space, allowing more and more exciting technology to be deployed for use.
39A, guys, the most historic launch pad in the world. Elon Musk and SpaceX, they're 5 years into their 20-year lease on this pad. They've launched 3 Falcon Heavies from here. One of them did have the red Tesla convertible on top. And now they're getting ready by the end of the year to launch astronauts from here in their Dragon crew capsule. Very exciting. On top of the pad, you see that white piece of equipment. That's a strong back. They bring that down that rail system there into the building, which is called a Horizontal Integration Facility, an HIF. In there, they'll put either a Falcon 9 or a Falcon Heavy on top of the strong back. A Falcon Heavy is actually 3 Falcon 9s hooked together. Then the strong back will go back to the top of the pad, right where it is now, and it takes it about 20 minutes to raise the rocket from horizontal to vertical to get it ready for launch. The tower you see up there, that's a historic monument, been there since the Apollo program.
Wow.
Has an elevator in it. That's how SpaceX will get the astronauts up to the top of the tower so they can walk through that white access arm you see up there to get into that Dragon crew capsule. What else is at the top of that tower, guys? Last bathroom on Earth, of course. The construction you see over here, they're building a launch pad and a landing pad for their Starship. It's a brand new rocket. Going to take 100 people at a time up into space. Then they're going to bring the stage 1 portion of that rocket back and land it right here, right where they launched it from. The fence. Why is this fence curved to the outside? Well, because alligators climb right up and over a regular chain link fence. So we had to do that to keep those pesky little gators off the launch pad. Over to the right, you see the 3 active launch pads on the Cape Canaveral Air Force side. There's 48 over there altogether. The first one's Launch Pad 41. United Launch Alliance launches the Atlas V. That's where the launch on the 9th will be from. And that's where Boeing will launch their crew capsule called the Starliner. Next set of lightning rod towers, Launch Pad 40. That's another SpaceX pad. They launched the Falcon 9 with commercial payloads from there. And the last big tall building you see down there is Launch Pad 37. That's where United Launch Alliance launches the Delta Heavies. Now you need to remember, guys, human spaceflight began right over there on the Air Force side with the Mercury and the Gemini program. We didn't even build Kennedy Space Center until the Apollo program had already begun. In front of us, the Atlantic Ocean. The road we're coming up to is called Beach Road. Now, if we turn right here, go about 1.5 miles, we'd come up to the Beach House. Well, that's where the Mercury 7 astronauts, that's the original 7. That's where they had those wild parties you read about, guys, down there in the Beach House. They would also lease Corvettes for $1 a year from Jim Rathman Chevrolet and race those Corvettes up and down this road right here. When they were done, they would autograph the glove boxes, give them back to Mr. Rathman, and he'd sell them as previously driven by an astronaut. Some of those are still out there if you want to try to find them.
The spotlight may shift here to Launch Pad 39B. I'm standing in the flame trench of Launch Pad 39B. During a launch, the temperatures in this area can get up to 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit. 39B was built for the Apollo program. It was used for the launch of Apollo 10, 3 Skylab missions, and for the Apollo-Soyuz test project. Now, we're going to go up to the top of the pad to meet with Nick Moss, the Deputy Project Manager of Launch Pad 39B. Nick, can you tell us where are we standing right now?
We're standing on the pad surface of Launch Complex 39B, the future launch site of the SLS rocket.
Where does the rocket actually go around here?
It sits on top of those mount mechanisms on top of the mobile launcher. The tower is going to be up on the north end, the vehicle just south of that, and ultimately it will fly up through the center of the lightning protection, around 600 feet above it.
Which one is the lightning protection system?
The lightning protection is the 3 towers around us and the catenary system up above it. They protect the vehicle from the lightning strike and take all of the current from the lightning down into the ground.
Now, this is a really big rocket, so I imagine there had to be modifications to this launch pad to support the SLS?
There's been a large amount of modifications over the past bunch of years. Mainly, we tore down the fixed service structure that was here for shuttle, the rotating service structure that was here during shuttle. We modified a lot of the large piping systems.
So much has changed here.
Other than the concrete we're standing on and some of the minor things underground, everything is brand new or completely refurbished and ready to support the next year.
Well, Nick, thank you so much for showing us around Launch Pad 39B. This is a really cool place. So while Launch Pad 39A has the pedigree of sending humans to the moon, You now know that Launchpad 39B has a very bright future as NASA works toward crewed missions back to the moon and onto Mars. I can't wait.
Following the Apollo program, Launchpad 39B hosted 53 space shuttle missions. Today, the facility is a clean pad, meaning it does not house a permanent launch tower. That mobile launcher you saw earlier will be set here by the crawler transporter for SLS launches. During the refurbishment, 1.3 million feet, over 400,000 meters of copper cables were removed and replaced with 300,000 feet, 91,440 meters of fiber optic cable. The 3 lightning towers, each 600 feet, 183 meters high, taller than the VAB, were installed to provide protection from a lightning strike that could damage the rocket before launch. After all, Florida is the lightning capital of the United States. This launch pad is full of impressive features. The water tower over there holds 4
key role in the assembly of the International Space Station, or ISS. I'm here with Bill Dowdell, who's the technical director of the ISS. Hi, Bill, can you tell us what is the purpose of the space station?
The space station was built to conduct research. We're in partnership with Russia, Canada, Japan, and Europe, and we're working with companies from all over the planet to be able to do that science and technology development up there. We're working with many companies here in the United States to continue that process and to come up with new technologies that will benefit us here on Earth.
Right, and I know there's a lot of research that goes on up there. What are the benefits of that research?
Well, almost everything that we do on the ISS has a derivative here on Earth that benefits humankind. Every time you pull out your cell phone to take a picture, the sensor in that cell phone that you're using to take that picture with was developed by NASA. We're doing medical research on it for crew health that has direct benefits down here, like things with bone loss. We have a very high-tech water purification system that we have developed, and that technology is transferred directly to Earth so people in rural places can get clean drinking water, the simplest of things.
Right, and the space station has been up there for many years, but what is the future hold, right?
The future is bright for the ISS. We're going to fly until 2028 or give or take. This station is going to serve as a platform for continued scientific research and technology development. We're going to use that technology as we segue into going to the moon with the Gateway project. And very shortly in the next year, the Commercial Crew Program is going to begin sending astronauts to the ISS on American rockets from American soil. So, very bright future, and things are looking up again for Kennedy Space Center.
The crawlway, guys, it's actually 7 feet deep, filled with rock, sand, gravel, concrete, asphalt, I think even old cat litter. The top 8 to 10 inches is Alabama River rock from the Tennessee River with its round edges. It makes a smooth ride. And there's no iron in this rock. That means no sparks. And that's a good thing when you haul around solid rocket fuel. Now look over here to the right. You can see the tread marks in the crawlway right there. You see that? As they go around that corner, they straddle the green grass in the center, guys. That crawler is wider than an 8-lane highway. Takes about 8 to 10 hours to get a rocket out to the launch pad.
Take a look at the 4-story building with slanted windows as we drive through this area. This is the Launch Control Center, where launch directors and their teams oversee every NASA rocket that lifts off from KSC and give the final go or no-go. I'm inside the LCC with Charlie Blackwell-Thompson, the first female launch director. Charlie, can you tell us, what does a launch director do?
Well, the launch director's job, it's really to look at how the team is proceeding their launch countdown. Is there things that we should be doing that we're not? Are we on schedule? Are there steps that we need to be taking? It's really to kind of stand back and take that big picture look at launch. The folks that are on the floor, the team of engineers that are in the firing room, they have a very tough job on launch day, and that's to evaluate the ground and the flight systems and ensure that they're ready for T0 or liftoff.
And what does it mean to you to be the launch director of this very important mission, EM1?
To be part of an inaugural launch team is something amazing, really, and to be part of bringing a new capability to American space program with the SLS rocket and the Orion spacecraft, and sending them on this mission known as EM1 is pretty incredible.
And what is your role leading up to that big launch?
So leading up to launch, it's not all about that launch day. It's also about ensuring that our ground systems are ready, all of the capabilities that you need for launch. It's testing them and ensuring that they're ready for launch day as well. And so it's about getting the people ready, getting the team ready, getting our paper, procedures, defining launch countdown, ensuring that all of that critical work fits together in the most effective and optimal way.
Right. Charlie, thank you.
Alright guys, another look at the VAB here. That gray bay door on the right hand side is high bay 3. That's where the mobile launch platform and 355 foot tall tower for the SLS is located. Okay, they'll start assembling that rocket by the end of the year there. Those gray bay doors are the largest door in the world, 456 feet tall. Each one of the panels weighs 30 tons and it takes 45 minutes to open or close those doors. Now with them all the way open, brought the Saturn V out and cleared that top door by a mere 6 feet. Compared to, they said it looked like a skyscraper coming out of a skyscraper. VAB is still the largest single-story building by volume in the world. The building to the left with all the windows, that's the Launch Control Center, the LCC, the main nerve stem or brain trust of any launch from this launch pad. Has control for only 8 seconds. After that, control switched over to mission control, which is in Houston. We have a problem, Texas. Over to the left is the press launch site. That flag you see over there at the base of the flag, that blue box, that's our brand new countdown clock. The original clock, the one you see in the movies, is actually there at the entrance of the visitors complex. The building there with CBS News across the top, the blue stripe. Well, if you remember Walter
there's a huge rocket right here. Looks pretty cool. How I carry on with a rocket right here too. This rocket right here too. USA. That must be Apollo 8 right here too. I had to use the bathroom here, but right there.
Is that your one? They could adjust the
architecture for these missions is already taking shape.
have